Hey there everybody, this is Cholera and welcome to another single commentary. This is going to be another MSL commentary. This is the second half of a group that I've done. This was played, I believe, 1 or 2 days ago. Hwasin versus Hiya. This is the fourth game of Group A. And if you guys don't remember the first 3 games, they are in my account. But the other 2 players in this group are Luxury and Effort. Effort managed to win the winner's game, so he is out of this group. He has already won his way into the round of 16, and now these remaining 3 players are going to be contending for the second spot from this group. This is going to be a TVT here. Hiya is the Terran on the bottom. I think he's in light blue, and we've got Hwasin here, the purple Terran at the top. So the battle of the H's here, and Hiya, the the second best player on Hwasin Oz. Not sure if that's really a really good distinction to have, because basically you have Jaedong and Jaedong's backup dancers. That is Hwasin Oz. But certainly, well, I mean, Backho actually arguably is the best, second best player if he recovers his form. Yeah, so I mean, we'll see what happens here in this game. I am predicting a win for Hwasin. I think Hiya really isn't really a top-notch player. I would say that he's more of a second-string player, been hanging around the fringes of playing well, and mostly known for making Firebat Hero cry, which I'll mention every time he plays because it was hilarious. Anyway, Luxury is going to be facing the winner of this game. Luxury did manage to beat... I believe it was Hwasin was the matchup, but I'm not positive. Yes, Luxury beat Hwasin in the first game, so should Hwasin win in this game, he would be facing a rematch against Luxury, which should be interesting, especially given the builds actually in the first game. In any case, let's talk about this game. This is Outsider, 3-player map. We've got ourselves standard openings from both players, neither player going for a scout. Hiya, I think, is, he's not great at TVT, but, well, actually, you know what? Never mind. I was just going to say something about he's okay. It's actually his worst matchup. Only 41%, so I guess that's pretty humiliating for for Firebat Hero to have lost to him. Although Firebat Hero recently did redeem himself by beating Hiya, whom we see there right there. There's Hwasin with sporting a new haircut. Not sure if I like it or not. Looks like he's going to mine with 3 SCVs on gas. No action so far. Both players playing conservatively here. And, Hwasin's TVT, I wouldn't say it's anything spectacular, but he's at a relatively solid 52% win rate compared to Hiya's 41%. Pretty big difference there. And we'll see how that plays into this game. I think both players are fairly conventional TVT players, from what I know, and we're looking at the predictions here. We've got 79% of the people saying Hwasin's going to win, and certainly I think that's a pretty fair assessment. Of course, anything can happen in StarCraft. As we know, we've been seeing many major upsets recently. I won't spoil all of them, but certainly Bisu has been involved in at least one, and that one, of course, is Yellow versus Bisu. I think everyone who watches StarCraft on YouTube probably has seen at least one rendition of it. What a great game. And there's possibly other upsets in the other games that were played in the last few weeks, so you should check them out if you get a chance. Looks like both players are going to not get a scout in, given their late scouting times. The SCV actually from Hwasin has done some damage to Hiya's. Oh man, and just as I was going to say, Hiya is going to try to do something conventional. He is going to go for 2-port wraiths here, and I think, honestly, 2-port wraiths is hard to pull off, but I think it might do a lot of good here for him, because look at the build from Hwasin. It's a conventional fast expand build. Hwasin has a lot of experience though, and I think that's going to play into it. His reaction time should be fairly fast once he scouts this. Of course, now he still does not have any information about this build, but he will certainly try to react as quickly as possible once he sees the first indication of it. And we'll see if Hiya decides to go for Cloak Wraith. I'm going to guess he is going to go for it, given it is a 2-port rush. It's a hard build to follow up if you don't do a tremendous amount of damage to your opponent. I mean, basically, you have to win, or at least, you have to at least set the opponent back so much that they're behind a base if the opponent's gone for this kind of build, because you're not going to be able to expand for a long time. Usually what happens, actually, is the 2-port Wraith player tries to follow up with tanks and finish off the game right afterward. Hwasin has a lot of ways to respond to this. Looks like he's got a second factory going up. He might go for Goliaths. I don't think he has enough timing now to go for a starport. He does have an armory going up though, so that's very smart. Or I guess very careful. Really, there were other options, of course, on this map. He could have gone for, an earlier siege mode, gone for a ground attack, which would have been disastrous for him because he wouldn't have any anti-air. The first two rates are out there. There's a control tower going up, so it is going to be cloak rates, most likely. The armory's not done yet, and this is the speed of the two-port Wraith Rush. Basically, you have nothing but rates. And I think it's a little strange that Hwasin didn't do any scouting. I mean, I understand he couldn't get in, but I think he should have at least tried to float a barracks over. But we'll see if that ends up costing him the game. One of his factories is getting taken out, but the armory is going to get up, it looks like. The SCV, is going to not be killed off in time. And it is finished. So right now, this is going to work out pretty well for Hwasin, I think. Of course, he's going to need to have an academy up pretty soon to get a scan, because obviously there will be cloak rates coming, and there's the academy, of course. And I think this is what Hiya is looking for. Hiya needs to kill that. He needs to really just stop basically the mass production or the ability to defend while Hwasin is still on 2 base and certainly has an economic advantage if the game continues like this. But he is doing some damage, Hiya is, but Hiya looks like he's not really paying that much attention. I think he might have just lost a Wraith there. Yeah, he did. Only 1 Wraith remaining. He's also gone for drops. That's an interesting segue following his initial Wraith Rush, because it doesn't seem like he's actually gone for cloak rates, which is odd, because he did go for 2-port. I mean, I don't know what he was expecting out of 2-port, like that the opponent wouldn't build anything like an armory or academy. And if you're going to go for 2-port, you pretty much are committed to going for cloak, because otherwise, why build 2 starports? You can get this number of rates with just 1, and it's pretty much a waste. Right now, it does look like he's managed to drop on this high ground, but it's really not doing anything for him. I think this is a pretty poor play from Hiya. Oh man, Hwasin just going to get a surround there. Oh god, what is Hiya doing? Man, this is just so bad for him. This is honestly indicative of just poor play here, because I guess the only thing that could have been more advantageous for him is if, like I said, Hwasin went for a ground push. But other than that, I mean, what was Hiya expecting out of Hwasin? Like, what was he expecting to be able to do with his 2-port Wraith Rush? I mean, he was in a pretty good situation. When he attacked, it just didn't work out at all, because evidently he doesn't know how to use rates, and also he made an oddball tech switch. I mean, I think he should have just stuck with rates. I understand that he didn't manage to kill the academy or the armory, but still, man, you can't just switch tech like that. It just doesn't work against a good player. Anyway, it looks like he's going to spot 2 starports going up for Hwasin. I think this game is pretty much in Hwasin's hands at this point. As you can see, Hiya just now is expanding, and he is going to have a very rocky road to climb here in terms of getting back in the game. He did very little harassment with his rates, and now obviously you can see he's not producing anything from his starports. He's going to have to go for a factory build. Yep. And also, his first drop was pathetic, I gotta say. I mean, that ridge might be good against, I guess a Protoss player or something, but without shuttles. But I mean, it's just a weak position there for a player with lots of tanks. And I do have to admire Hwasin for that nice surround he did. I don't think Hiya target fired enough either with his tanks. He probably could have taken down more of Hwasin's units had he done that. But that's in the past. We're going to have to see, though, what he can do now. I think he should have dropped behind the natural, actually. That's a much better protected area. It's much harder to reach with the short range of unsiege tanks. I don't think Hwasin had siege tanks, siege mode. And I just don't understand. Hiya mystifies me, basically. He is a mystifying player. And maybe he's just not breathing hard enough. He needs to make sure that he's, with that 60 respirations a minute, he needs that, man. He needs all the oxygen he can get to play StarCraft. He's going to be facing Hwasin, who's got a 3rd base here going up, and he's got a lot of clumped up tanks. He's got a dropship now, dropping to the back expansion here. At least he'll be able to do that. That's one benefit of having a drop. Oh man, Hwasin's rates are out, and I'm not sure if Hiya is prepared at all. He's going to probably lose this dropship at this point. And now it looks like he's going to be able to retreat on time. There is a Goliath out, a pair of Goliaths out, and they're going to... Oh man, they're not even going to pick off any of these rates. Nice escape there by Hwasin. Very lucky. 20 hit points on both rates. And this game is just going disastrously for Hiya. As you could see, he is breathing hard as usual, and you know, he has good reason to. He is on the brink of being eliminated from you know, this individual league here. He really hasn't done that great in them. Anyway, it looks like he's going to advance out, actually. Maybe maybe catching Hwasin a little bit off guard here.